Hello, it is day 33. It's the last day of preparation before tomorrow, which is your consecration. Now, of course, consecration technically is consecration to God, it's consecration to Jesus, but it's through Mary. Total consecration to Jesus through Mary. So it's especially kind of cool. Today is the feast of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. Tomorrow is the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Today, it's the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And I wanted to take a moment and share with you a story, one of my favorite stories of a saint. It's Saint Lutgard. She's the first woman stigmatic in the church, I believe. And she is also one who is the first that we have on record of having what's called the mystical exchange of hearts with Jesus. So she is in that litany of devotees to the Sacred Heart if we're looking at saints that especially show forth that aspect of Christ. But one of the things that gets me about her story, the one specific story, is her kind of almost audacity in prayer with our Lord. Her nearness to Him allowed her to be very human, very even wishy-washy in a certain kind of way. So the story goes that as she grew near to our Lord, she began to have this gift of healing, and she could heal minor ailments. And so people started coming all around, and she'd heal them, and it started to distract her and the other sisters in her convent from the prayers of the convent, and they couldn't have the same kind of prayer life. And so she goes to Jesus and speaks to him about it. She says, "Why did you go and give me such a grace, Lord? Now I hardly have any time to be alone with you. Take it away, please. Only give me another grace. Give me something better." That prayer, love it. So he says, "What grace do you want me to give you then in its place?" And so she was a choir nun who everything was in Latin, and so she asked that she would have a more penetrating knowledge of the Latin and that she could say and sing these prayers with more devotion. And Jesus gives this grace and then some. She's flooded with mystical intuitions and lights from on high that she might understand much more deeply and penetratingly all of the Psalms. And it still left her kind of dry. She wasn't fully still detached enough from, or I guess she was detached actually from even the spiritual consolation that would give, because she really wanted Jesus and not necessarily just the gifts that He gives. And so she went back to Him again and said, that I messed up. So Jesus says, "What then do you want?" Right? So another return of another gift. And her reply, "Lord, I want your heart. I want your heart." And His response is quite sweet. "You want my heart? Well, I want your heart." She says, "Take it, Lord, but take it in such a way that the love of your heart may be so mingled and united with my own heart, that I may possess my heart in thee, and that it may always remain there, secure in your protection." And so they didn't have like a physical exchange of hearts, but it's a beautiful moment of indwelling and an advance in love of God. And so beautiful story of a wonderful saint who shows us what prayer can be like. It's not always perfect. We always ask for the right things, and it's a process. And so I hope that this process has been one that is good to you. It's been wonderful to be able to get email exchanges and some other things with you amidst all of this time when we can't really be together in person. And I hope that it's brought you closer to our Lord and Our Lady, and it's been formative for your knowledge of the faith, perhaps. And there will be more things coming, so stay tuned. I'll be sure to let you know. But tomorrow I will send you the how-tos of the consecration again, and so you can expect one more email from me, though probably not my face. I'll let this be my last video for a time. But again, God bless you. I hope that as you enter into tomorrow's consecration, that you do so in a very recollected and whole way, that you'll really give yourself over to God in a new way, and this will mark a new chapter in your devotion to our Lord with the help of